Welcome on into another movie review. Today we're going to be checking out the live action version of How to Train Your Dragon. If you have watched or seen the original 3 How to Train Your Dragons, this one only covers the first one, but you know exactly what you're getting into. This movie was almost beat for beat and in some cases shot for shot of the original How to Train Your Dragon. But obviously instead of animated, it is live action. I do want to say the dragons look amazing. I really like that the Terrible Terror almost resembled a chameleon and Toothless looked amazing on the screen. Some of the characters do sound different, but I think that is better because if Hiccup was trying to imitate the animated Hiccup's voice, we could kind of tell when he wasn't, but he carries his own type of voice through this, and I think it's amazing. The live action Hiccup portrays the animated Hiccup's characteristics really well. As for Astrid, of course, I would have liked her to be blonde, but this actress does an amazing job portraying Astrid. I would have liked her to have a little bit more spunk, but I understand that is the director's opinion and not the actor's. Here's a scene comparison comparing the live action versus the original.
That's for the lies. That's for everything else.
That's for the lies. And that's for everything else.
As I said before, I would have preferred Astrid to have a little bit more spunk, but I think this actress does an amazing job carrying the Astrid from the animated form into the live action. As for Snotlout and Fishlegs, I think their characters are done amazingly. Snotlout really shines in this as the cocky person, and he also reminds me of Flash from the Spider-Man trilogy. And then Fishlegs really shines. He reminds me of a Josh Gad type of character, but he is so funny throughout the whole thing. He's definitely the brainy, nerdy guy. Probably the biggest change from the animated to the live action is Rough Nut and Tough Nut. In the animated, if you've never seen it before, Rough Nut and Tough Nut, the 2 redheads on screen right now, look identical. And I think I would have preferred the route that Harry Potter went with casting actual twins versus finding these 2 actors. But with that being said, oh my goodness, the Rough Nut and Tough Nut actors really embody the cluelessness of these characters.
Yeah, and it's called being held back, as in too valuable to let go of.
They also have this really funny line about how their mother couldn't tell them apart, even though in the live action one, you can definitely tell who's who. Stoic, Gobber are both portrayed amazingly. It helps that Stoic kind of has already done Stoic before, because if you don't know, the person who's played Stoic in the live action version was also the voice for Stoic in the animated one, which is a cool fact. For some concerns you might want to have walking into the film, you know the old, super short lady who lived at the very top and was, never spoke? If you watched the animated one, you probably know who I'm speaking of. Well, in this one, she's a little bit taller. She still doesn't speak, but she's more of a witch-type character in this one. Even though I know that's technically what she was in the original, too, it is definitely more portrayed in this one. She doesn't cast any spells, but she does do a little sign with dead dragon bones. I think they're dragon bones. They're bones of some kind. There's also a scene with one of the twins, and I'll show it right now.
Terrible terror! It's like the size of my...
And yes, it does cut, but if you are old enough to understand what it's possibly implying, do with that what you will. I'm 90% sure God's name was misused at least 3 times. I'm only 90% sure because during the times that it could have been misused, they were falling off the dragon, so it was kind of like a throwaway line and super quiet, so it was either gosh or misusing God's name. Near the end of the film, Stoic says, "Let's send the dragons back to hell." There's also a bit of Norse mythology, and there's one point where Odin offers up a prayer to one of their gods. There is also a returning joke from the original animated version where Hiccup's little hat is made from the breastplate of his mother. If you have not seen the animated version, this is a spoiler for the ending of the live action and I guess the animated one. Hiccup does lose a leg in this one, but if you have seen the animated, you should already know that. In the end, if you love How to Train Your Dragon, you are going to have an amazing time seeing this movie. It is basically an all-out dragon fest, and seeing these dragons in live action form is amazing. I really enjoyed this movie. Now, I personally would probably rate it a 7 because I have seen the animated versions. I just feel like the animated ones, one, that's what I grew up with. So, of course, I'm going to have a little bit of bias towards it. But I just feel there's also more that you can do with animation. A little bit more cartoony things that you can do. We also went with 2 people who had never seen any of the How to Train Your Dragons, like no TV series, no movies. And they rated this movie an 8. I would highly recommend you go see this movie, whether when you're watching this review it's still in theaters, or if it has come to a streaming service, or if it's available for physical media. I would highly recommend you go checking out this movie. That is going to be all for this review. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
Everything we know about dragons is wrong.